Toynado!
Hi, I'm Anthony, and welcome to the second part of Toynado's terrific toy trek into Sydney. And with me, periodically being given the wrong directions, is Pete.
Hey. Last recording, we did Alfie's new and vintage toy shop in Sydney. And this recording, we're doing
Second childhood toys and collectibles. Pete, once again, you'd been nice enough to have a bit of a chat with the owner, Kyle, and you'd set up a time for us to go and visit.
I did. And I go by the theory, no harm in asking. And it turned out there was no harm.
Now, Pete, when you walked through the door, what were your thoughts?
Blown away by the sheer amount of toys that he had. And I can completely understand why it's by booking only. This place was amazing. This guy has made a place that is for collectors, for collectibles. It's probably the best way that he described it, and also I describe it to you.
Look, Pete, the G.I. Joe vehicles at the front door in that glass cabinet sold me. I was so amazed to see those. And then the store just kept on going back. Like, it was one of those things where you just didn't quite know where to focus your eyes on.
Oh, I knew where to focus. He-Man, Ninja Turtles, Pizza Hut, Land Before Time, puppets. Boom. I think what I'll do now is go through what I got. And off the top of the rack, we have Battle Bones. Yes, I finally have my own Battle Bones back in my collection. Now, this one has a couple of clips broken, but apart from that, it is in great condition. And I would not know of a place that sold it for that price, and it is amazing. I also got my hands on 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Cheapskates. I know, I can't believe the name either. So the aim I had is I've already got one at home, but I want to have 4. I want to have 4 so I can have all turtles racing. It will be awesome. I also got a couple of the Simpsons little action figures. They're kind of cool. I got myself a Ninja Turtle Ace Duck wings, hat, accessories. Very cool. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't know much about Ace Duck until we started Toynado. But once I saw him, I knew I could not give him up. And the Resistance, the thing that I have lost my mind over so many times, is I got myself a Krang robot. Now, you can see by the pictures, a little damaged, missing some of his pieces of armor. But the guy that owns it, really nice, understood it was broken, and sold it for me for $10, which came with a Krang as well. $10, people. Bargain. The hunt was successful. And how did you go at the store, Anthony?
I'm a huge G.I. Joe person, and I was in quite a bit of luck when we walked through the door of Second Childhood Toys and Collectibles. But surprisingly, G.I. Joes were not the first thing that I decided that I was going to buy.
A gasp was heard by the listeners.
That honour goes to the Star Wars Black Series Wrecker figure from the Bad Batch. Now, being a Star Wars person, I love the Bad Batch animated series, but when the figures came out, I kind of missed them, and Wrecker was the first one to come out, as far as I remember.
Tell us in the comments if Anthony's memory is wrong, eh?
So by the time I saw them in the shops, that one had well and truly gone. So I walked around to the Star Wars section, and up on the top shelf, Wrecker. Just had to have him. And Pete, I know that you and I have a little disagreement about, taking figures out of the packets or keeping them in the packets.
No disagreement. You keep them in the packet.
But once I get the rest of my Bad Batch figures, they are coming out of the packets and they are being displayed in all their glory.
No, if you're going to display them, that's different. Definitely take them out of the packaging. In fact, maybe we should start doing that, Anthony. Maybe we should have a side little thing going about how we make dioramas, eh? I guess I would only do this if we got more than 50 subscribers, which we haven't done yet. Carry on.
So the second thing I settled on was a bunch of G.I. Joes and parts and weapons. One of those was the Alley Viper version 2, which was a personal favourite of mine as a kid, but unfortunately along the way I'd lost many of his accessories. This one had most of them, so now that I've got this one, I almost have a complete one. I'm just missing his shield. Also grabbed this really cool Frag Viper. Didn't come with any accessories, but he's really nice. He's got the little Cobra insignia on his shoulder, which usually wears off. His helmet is really nice, so I was really happy to find that one. The next one I picked up was the Track Viper. He's a really weird looking one in all grey, but he looks really nice. He's no scratches, no wearing, his joints are all nice and tight. And I was really happy to find that one. Like, I knew he's a driver of one of the vehicles. And then I came across Crazy Legs. He's a parachuter for the G.I. Joe team. And I was talking about this one in Alfie's toy shop earlier, saying that it was one of the few that I needed for that particular run of figures. So I was quite happy to see him in there. And he also came with his parachute, which is really nice because that's usually missing. Still need his gun, but I'm getting that little bit closer. Now, Pete, I believe after I'd finished looking through the Joes, I went and joined you with the Ninja Turtles. And we'd been joking before that, we'd probably come across something that we both wanted and, we'd have to fight over it. But luckily that didn't happen. You found your Ace Stock. You also found your Sewer Skaters. But when I looked in, I saw Baxter Stockman. And Baxter Stockman was one of those ones that I always wanted as a kid.
Bzzz, no containers can hold me. Baxter Stockman. Bzzz.
And just look at him. He's got his wings, he's got his arms, he's got his fly swat, which is a really weird weapon for a fly man to have. He also has something that clips onto the fly swatter, which I still can't work out what it is. And he's really nice, so, that was fantastic.
Baxter Stockman was the inventor of the mouses. And not to give too much of our future recordings away, but we will be doing a recording on the mouses themselves.
Now, this next one I was going to omit because I thought we should do an episode of Toynado on him later on, but I just can't. I've got to tell you about him. So, I got Wingnut. Wingnut is a bat-like creature with robot wings. He's got most of his accessories. Back in the day, he came with a little guy called Screwloose, who's like a weird mosquito. He was in the Ninja Turtle Archie comic, which was fantastic. And he was a member of the Mighty Mutanimals, and I really wanted him as a kid. Not as much as I wanted Baxter, but this is one of those ones where you'd look on the back of the card and go, oh, I want that one, and now I have this one.
Our mums will be so proud of us grown men with toys.
We never truly grow up, Pete. Alright, so I picked all this stuff up, as you know, Pete, and I was making my way towards the door, and I just had to look at those G.I. Joe vehicles. And then I saw it, sitting on the shelf. The APC vehicle from Series 2 of G.I. Joe.
Said the angels.
Now look, Pete, I've been looking at getting one of these for a little while now, and they always go up for auction, and it's always more than I can afford. And usually it's also in the US, so then you put postage on top of that and conversion, and it's just a nightmare. This one was in such a nice condition. It's got its Top Gun. It's got its little steering wheel. It's very, very nice. And while I'm not really planning on collecting the 1983 series, it's a little bit too far back for me, I had to get this vehicle. So I did. I think the only thing it's missing is 2 seat belts from out of the back that keep all the other Joes strapped in. That, Pete, is a beautiful big piece of plastic. Yes, admittedly it does also kind of look like a cheesecake or a bar cake. It's a really weird canopy colour. So, the last purchase for the day was the Cobra Hiss 2 tank from Series 8 from 1989. It's not one that I'd ever really thought of getting before, but I saw it there and it's just really, really pretty. And I know it's only red and grey and black, but there's just something about it that makes it stand out. It's got the swivel gun at the top, it's got the guns at the side, it's got 2 rockets, it's got a little jaw underneath it so it opens up so you can put the people in there. I think it is missing 2 of the clips that go onto the seats, but I don't really care about that. And on the back, it opens up and it actually carries more figures. And I didn't realise until I got home is you can actually slide it all the way out, which is in fact where I found the extra missile because it originally only had 1 on it. So that was really cool. Now the most serendipitous thing is the Track Viper that I picked up is actually the driver for the Cobra Hiss 2 tank.
No way!
And I hadn't realised that when I picked him up.
Whoa.
So that was a really cool addition. So what did we do after that, Pete? That's right. We went and grabbed some burgers. And then went and rested because that was a really long day.
You know what, Anthony? I'm going to make an executive decision And this is going to become a 3-parter. Yeah, there's plenty I want to talk about with the Penrith last day trip. So I'm going to make this a 3-parter. Stay tuned for part 3.